After you've sorted out your initial density issues, you can start to thin out the shape of the particle stream even more. The particle density node has a shape and rotation tab where you can elongate the particle shapes using the elliptical or fill them out using the metaball shapes. We can also take the elliptical shape and stretch it out along the velocity base. So if I draw an initial render region, we'll see how fine the smoke is. So we've got some very fine tendrils kind of moving through the air here. Now I'll go in and just refine them a little bit more. So using the velocity-based scale, I'll increase the elliptical scale and thin out these wisps of smoke even more, so the effect is even more subtle. At this point, I would try and control the color. Again, I would probably use a little less of the diffuse color and more ambience. Again, we don't really want too much diffuse to be controlling the shading. I'll bring up the intensity a little more on the ambient side. And if I was to bring it up the whole way, you can see the stream that we're shading. So I'll take that density down or the intensity down a little more, and perhaps just have it pick up again the color of the environment, which in this case tends to be a bit more greeny brown. So let's bring up the color a little bit there. Pump it up a little bit more, and maybe increase the intensity as well. If I look at the overall diffuse color on these particles, I'm not really interested in bringing up the diffusion. I'm just going to kind of cut that back a little bit more and maybe tint it with a little bit of blue for atmospheric. At this point, if you wanted to get into very high quality settings when you render, you could switch the ray marching, which is just a level of detail, from low to the high settings. This will basically smooth out the stream of particles so that it look like one continuous flow instead of seeing little gaps and patches. It does give a bit of a hit to render time, so use with caution. Test without, and if you need it to smooth out any kind of smooth-based particle fluid effects, then use this afterwards. I think at this point I'm going to render the scene. I'm going to make sure that I turn on shadows on my main key light. And I'll take the umber down quite a bit more. I'll just do a quick test render of what I can see here. And if you haven't really realized it right now, there's been a sort of silly looking dandelion almost just sitting behind my character the whole time. I have no idea where this comes from. So let me just kind of go in and find it. I guess someone thought it made a good light pole. So I'll delete those two elements. Maybe I'll just do a slight bit more brightening on that key light. Actually, instead of that, I'm going to try and take advantage of a new mental ray feature. We're going to do a little bit of lens shading and use some photographic exposure to add some mood to our final shot.